Welcome to the Manifesting Millions podcast. I am your host, Rashida McFerrin, and today we are talking about how to embrace endings and new beginnings. So, a little bit of background. I initially recorded this episode in the middle of October, and for some reason, the audio was seriously sketchy, and there were lots of pauses throughout the episode. And so I ended up having to take the episode down, and I am re-recording it for the end of this year. And actually, as I'm thinking about it, what better time than now, considering today is December 30th, 2024. The new year is within the next 2 to 3 days. What better time to address the concept of talking about seasons of endings and then embracing the new beginnings than now? So, that being said, we're going to get into it. One of the things in regards to acknowledging the importance of endings is having the courage and the power to let go. So, for me personally, I know that this has been a transformational year of change. It's been almost in every area of my life, personally, professionally, family wise. 2024 has been a year of endings and new beginnings. In my family, personally, we've lost two of my mom's siblings from August 2023 to January 2024. Two of her siblings passed away, which were the first of the six. And it's been a minute since I've had someone that was so close to me pass away. And then for them to be back to back was a lot emotionally. And bless my son's heart, it was at the beginning of his going into his sophomore year initially. Both of those semesters started with death, which was the endings in regards to how our family dynamic is changing, considering that with the loss of life that occurred. And so embracing the endings, embracing the new beginnings, dealing with that phase of my family. For me personally, I transitioned out of my 18-year corporate career and launched my own business. Huge transformational change for me. And it's difficult to step into new identities. It's difficult to step into new seasons. And so I just want to sit here for a second and talk about what the best way can be for you to manage it, because I don't know that there is a best way for you to handle transformational change like that. And so, especially for me in reference to death. Death is always hard. It doesn't matter how it comes into your life. It's the ending of something and the beginning of something new. And then grieving in the process of that is a whole other phase of it. And then how you process and let go over time, and then how you choose to get up and rejoin life and move forward in creating the life that you're living and honoring those who have gone before us, and embracing the lessons and the love and the laughter and the family time with them throughout the years, and then proceeding forward from there. It all definitely pushes you into a place of transformation for personal growth. Then you have to figure out how to move forward. Sometimes it's just a day at a time. Sometimes it's okay to process your emotions, because there are going to be tons of emotions. Like, because of the background of my family growing up in a small town, country town in Tennessee on a farm, I come from a place of where, with the exception of probably two of my grandmother's children, all of us lived on the same highway. We all grew up with land and houses built within a few miles from one another. So that sense of community has been built into the DNA of our fabric and how our family has operated for years. And it doesn't matter if you haven't seen or talked to a person, the energy and the structure of the way we were raised has been in place for my whole life. And as I've gotten to know other people, it's considered a luxury. It's interesting to me, but you are seeing this new phase of community to people migrating out to the country. I never thought I'd see that in my life. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Because when we were growing up, we were trying to figure out the quickest way to get away from the country, how to get to the city so we could be around life and what was popping. And now you have this mass migration of people moving out of the cities and moving out into countries and to places where there literally is like no infrastructure because they want to be at one with nature and the universe. And then we see this dynamic this year where all of a sudden Black and being country, honey, is popular. Wait, what? Child, look, I never thought I'd see the light of day. It's so funny to come from a place of this is who we are. And the only way you know for me that I'm country is that I tell you, because otherwise you would never know based on the way I speak. And then the fact that I'm so well educated, so well, highly assimilated into modern society. The only way you would know that if you knew me from my background or if you are in like my social circle and I get comfortable enough around you to the point that you hear my country dialect come out. I have been way more loose with my country tones over the course of the past probably 5 to 10 years because I've come to terms with that's a part of my identity and I don't have to leave half of myself or a fourth of myself outside. All of me, considering who I am as a Black woman in America, coming from the country, assimilating into modern society, being educated, working in corporate, all of me can be accepted as the way I am and who I am. And I can present myself as such. And whether you like it or not is your issue, not mine. Right? Back to the subject at hand is as we embrace the endings and the new beginnings, what a lot of what's been coming up for me, especially in our family dynamic, because I am starting to look forward in regards to, in regards to my grandchildren and my great grandchildren. Because for us, my great great grandfather Alex thought about us back into the late 1800s and passed land down to his family, which is why we still have what we have today. As I am in this phase of my life and as we're continuing to build, right? We're not just starting, we're continuing to build. I'm starting to think about my son, him getting married, his kids. Look, it's taking on a different meaning for me as I am maturing. I turned 44 in September of this year, and 44 is a master number, equals to 8. Just so happens that we're in the year of 8, transformation and change. And so there is so much that is coming up for me personally that I'm just literally processing stuff one step at a time. And that's what I've had to do. I don't know how else to do it. But as we're preparing for our kids, our Gen Z kids are becoming adults or are adults. And me and my sister are looking at them like, yo, when did they grow up? It went so fast. We are offering perspective from years of having lived wisdom, experience, and giving them options to choose from for how they build their lives. It's been an emotional journey for me. The other thing that's coming up for me is my son graduates high school next year. And like, I don't think I was prepared for all the emotional roller coasters that come with the emotions of the fact that I'm literally closing out a phase of my life. It's almost like I feel like it's a mourning. Yeah, actually it is. Like he started driving. He'll be licensed in a year or so. He'll have his own car. He'll go to college. He'll meet whoever. He'll build his own family and have his own career. It's just a lot of that is like dawning on me that this is the phase of life that I'm in. And it's like, it's a lot. As we go through these phases in life, it is important for us to navigate our emotions with the best tools that we have available to us. And that is part of the journey. Finding closure is part of the journey. And then having the faith to step forward into a new beginning, whatever that new beginning may be, is part of the journey. And as we come to the closeout of 2024, in this year of 8, this transformational year, I want you to think about how your life has changed this year, what you did good, what you didn't do good, and then how you can better position yourself to be putting yourself in a position to do it, I guess, better next year. The reality is that there are seasons in life for everything. Every year we go through the 4 seasons. We start the year in winter, we go into spring, we have summer, then we have fall, then we go back into winter again. So there is this consistent cycle to Mother Nature that we watch over and over again. And each season brings up something different in your life. How we deal with those seasons is truly up to us, and how we use those seasons to innovate, to elevate, to go to the next level is also dependent on our choices and our decisions that we make in those moments. Embracing the power of change, I've learned in my 44 years of being on this earth, is the magic that life is made of. Because when you resist change, what you're resisting persists. But the more you open and you flow with it like water, you'll notice that you'll have more of a rhythm and a flow to it. And so as we go through and grow through life, embracing the endings, the closures of things that have passed away and that are no longer present, and embracing the new beginnings of new life, the new journey ahead. I just want to encourage you to do it based on your timing and what you think the next best step is for you, yourself, and your family. And sometimes in seasons, you just have to be into the season until it ends. And that is a part of the journey. I had a script I was supposed to follow, and I'm noticing that I'm just continuing to speak more freely because it's just flowing. And there is no other way to sugarcoat the concept of transformation and change and loss, death, rebirth. And you know what? I will say this, the beautiful thing about death is that there is rebirth in the process of it. I remember I was going through my Saturn return. It was right after I had my son, 27, 28. And life was just really changing a lot for me. And I remember feeling like being in a constant process of being reborn and dying over and over again. Not physically, like the emotional self, the spiritual self. And by the time I was 31, I started to rebrand the concept of what I was going through, authentic rebirth. And I remember I was blogging at the time, and everything that I blogged touched on the concept of having authentic rebirths in life, because the fact is that is just a part of the transformational change in life, is that you're going to go through seasons and phases and things in life, and it's not always going to be easy. That's why we incarnate into this physical form. It's to come down here and to figure out how to master the life lessons that we need to master in order to move on to the next phase of whatever it is that we move on to once we exit this earth. Just let the process be the process. I don't really have anything else to say other than that. That's it. I hope you had whatever you deem to be an amazing 2024. Even with all the challenges and changes that came up this year, I know I am still incredibly blessed to be in the position of doing what I do, to share what I share, to make the money that I make, to live the life that I live. I know that from the bottom of my soul. And I know that living in this time of transformation as a whole, as a collective, is a gift that we all have. And I am hoping that in you living during this transformational time, that you are utilizing every single gift that you were given by the divine in order to bring beauty and change into this world. And with that, that is all for today. That being said, I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.